Anyways, so today I'll be answering some of your questions, basically the ones on revision, because the ones regarding writing and actually answering questions and using your knowledge, I think that I'll be doing or I'll be dedicating a separate video for that, okay, because it's a topic on its own. Now regarding your questions, starting first with, I'm reading a book about theories, which is boring now, which is a bit hard, yet I'm pushing myself. Around 3 years earlier, when I was still in my master's, I was also reading a book, or I would say an article on linguistic theories, preparing for the course of linguistic theories, I would say for its exam. And I know exactly what you're going through. Now, my quick advice to you is to actually have a notebook next to you, okay? So try to write down things that you get from the book. Now, if you are reading and you're not getting anything out of it, it's as if you're doing nothing, all right? So I would say always try to have what? A notebook next to you. This is very important. Try to organize the ideas presented in the book. Try to have sections. Try to summarize the ideas like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay? This will help you a lot. And the thing is, for me now, I mean, after years, I said literally 3 years, it was 3 years prior to the contest, I still used that same notebook when preparing for the PhD. So you see, like when you read a book productively and you have something out of it that you can later on refer to, this will help you tremendously, even years after, okay? Not just for that certain aim, okay? Initial aim that you were revising for. So this is regarding this question. Now for the questions posted on the Kifl group, how to start revising? I have no clue. I've already answered you there in the comments, and I shared with you a video that I've made recently on my own PhD revision guide. Now, but how to actually start is to push yourself into starting. You have to do it. I know it's hard and we tend to postpone things, etc. But once you start, all will be clear. Now, if you are thinking about it and you're not doing anything about it, of course you will envision it as something so big that you don't even know from like how to approach it, okay? So try to go through my PhD revision guide. I've shared with you my strategy. I guess it will help you to actually start your revision, and I wish you the best of luck. So for the second question, we have my my PhD guide video on YouTube. I wish you the best of luck. Now, the third question was also posted on the Kifl group, and it was regarding the methodology or manhajiyya, okay? So we have methodology. I would say methodology is more practical than theoretical. You see, like, okay, you have to understand it theoretically, but then you have to put it into practice. Otherwise, you will never get it fully. Okay, because it's something that is meant to guide the researcher in his practical endeavors during his research journey. So, okay, look, there are many books. You are still in the accumulation phase, okay? So I advise you to go through books. There are many books, okay? You can go through books. I've already shared a video on methodology. You can find it in the playlist of PhD Prep. I don't remember the exact title, but there was a video there. I've shared with you all the sources that I used for my methodology revision, okay? I've shared with you everything. You can use the same things that I used because they worked perfectly for me. Otherwise, you can go and search for introduction. Make sure to write the word introduction to methodology, okay? Introductions are generally easier to get, more simplified than detailed, books on methodology, okay? Also try to go through my video that I've told you just about. You'll find all the sources that I used. And normally you still have time. You still have time. Listen, it's not hard. It's so easy. You can go through it. You can understand it. I have also a playlist on on this YouTube channel. You can go and look for methodology and you can start from there. I've literally started it from scratch. So if you want to start methodology from scratch, I advise you to go through the playlist. I've literally explained many lessons. Otherwise, you can go and read books. So it depends on what you like more. Do you like reading, or do you like listening or watching videos, etc.? And this is it. And I guess you have enough time and you will be able to, as you said, to write freely during the contest because you will have a solid background on methodology. Now, the fourth question was, is it possible to start revising from summer? Now, we don't really have a clear idea on when the contest will be, the next contest, that is. So with that not being that so clear, it's hard to say yes or no. However, the sooner you start, the better, because you'll have time to go through things. And do not take it as revision. It's not revision. It's literally accumulating knowledge. This is why I say, since you're now in the accumulation phase of knowledge, literally months prior to the contest, you should do that with ease. Like, do not put yourself under pressure. Like, you can read 2 pages today, rest for another day, read 4 pages later on. You see, like, you can play with time because you still have time. Now, for revising, like if you mean the final revision phase, then it literally depends on the day of the contest. I advise you to start at least 2 months prior. I'm not saying that if you start 1 month or 15 days prior, you will not make it. I'm not saying that because individual differences do exist. We're not all the same. We have different mental capacities, so I cannot really give you a I would say one answer on this. However, again, it depends on the day of the contest, and it depends on your mental abilities, etc., on your background on the topic, on your accumulated knowledge, on your memory skills, and on your endurance, whether you can endure the stress and pressure of those few days prior to or few months prior to the contest. Okay, so again, so in here I would say it literally depends on, I would say day, I would say on the date of the contest. All right. There was also another question on how to actually prepare in didactics. Well, in any subject, not only in didactics, if you are not going to be relying on the courses that you have already studied at your university or the courses that were taught at the university that you wish to sit for, you can go through books, the table of content, and you can get from there the titles, okay, that you should cover. And I hope this helps. So I would say you go for the courses or the table of content in books, okay? And finally, there was a very interesting question. So the question was how to organize my revision in applied linguistics and didactics. So last year I revised applied, but then the question was about sociolinguistics. So I'd like you to tell us the most important points we need to revise in this module, because I think it's quite difficult covering them all. Great. I guess the first thing that we should know is that applied linguistics is an interdisciplinary field, okay? So there is a huge difference between applied linguistics and didactics. Didactics is only a part of applied linguistics. Applied linguistics is too broad, all right? Because it's interdisciplinary. When we say something is interdisciplinary or a field is interdisciplinary, this means it encompasses many, many disciplines, okay? And it also focuses on addressing real-world language and communication problems. So it literally involves linguistic theories, methods, results, whatever, to solve practical issues. All right? Now, the core point here is to actually understand the nature of applied linguistics and to be able to make a solid difference between applied linguistics and linguistics. Now, applied linguistics, as we said previously, it addresses real world problems in which language is a central issue. However, linguistics literally addresses or studies generalities of language and abstract idealizations. Now, the thing is, linguistics is the main source of inspiration for applied linguistics. However, applied linguistics may also draw from other disciplines or draw on other disciplines. So, applied linguistics, it may develop its own um, theories, etc., when linguistic theories do not meet real world needs, all right? Which means applied linguistics is not entirely dependent on linguistics. You see what's happening? This is why you said sociolinguistics. Now sociology is there. You see, so it can literally extend and develop and challenge linguistic theories because applied linguistics is not a branch of linguistics or any other discipline in this regard. It's rather, I would say, an independent academic subject. Okay, so it has its own everything like associations, qualifications, professionals, etc. Now, when we say applied linguistics and we say that it has to do with real world problems in which language is a central issue, this means very much everywhere in all disciplines. Sociolinguistics, yes. Psycholinguistics, yes. Neurolinguistics, again, yes. What else? Neurogenetic linguistics or neurogenomic linguistics, yes. I don't know, like computational linguistics, again, yes. In didactics, teaching, etc., of course, yes, where language is also a central issue. So you see wherever you can find language, that's applied, even if you don't notice it. Okay? For me personally, my own dissertation was on applied linguistics in neurogenomic linguistics. That's applied linguistics. You see? And I was trying to spot the problem, to find some solutions for Down syndrome kids and to understand the certain thing, etc. That's applied linguistics. So it's too broad. It's so challenging. And if you are going for it, you must accept the challenge. Now, what I would advise you to do is to choose the university very carefully. And by the way, I will make a video on this, okay, because it's so important. So try to select the university very carefully. Try to select the university that you can find actually their lessons and courses. This is so important. Don't go for universities with obscure courses and modules and teachers. No. Go for something that you can actually look for and find, okay? Because you will know exactly what they are focusing on. Normally speaking, they will focus on what they have already been teaching their own students, generally speaking. So that's a good starting point. Rather than that, you have to focus on all of these things, and it's hard to tell you what exactly to focus on, you see, because if you want to know what I focused on in my revision for applied linguistics, I've shared with you all my summaries. You can find them on the group, okay? So you can go and find my summaries on the group. Again, however, the question, I literally went for Mustaghanim University, and the question was very much unpredictable. It was literally about socioeconomic nature. Now you would say, oh my God, applied linguistics and the socioeconomic nature and how English can foster that and how things can be done. So it's very, very unpredictable because it does cover many things. So in my own revision, I seriously did not cover that, though it is also linked to language planning and policy. And language planning and policy is so important. So if you are planning to go for applied linguistics, go for language planning and policy because it's literally everything that the state is trying to do right now, okay? To fix the problems in Algeria, whether these problems are political or social or educational or whatever the case, they all fall under this beautiful umbrella of language planning and policy. So I advise you also to go through that. However, do not overwhelm yourself. Just Focus on the most important things in applied linguistics, things that you should know. And for those things, you will find them on my summary, all right? Or you can go through books because you still have time right now. Or you can go and watch the video that I've shared previously. You can find it on the playlist where I've shared with you all the sources and all the materials I used for my applied linguistics revision, okay? Rather than that, I mean, you should just do your best and pray. Honestly, because I mean, the questions are very unpredictable and there is nothing to do about that, unfortunately. So this is it. Now, regarding your questions on الكتابة الأكاديمية or how to actually write an essay, an academic essay and everything, I will dedicate a separate video for that because there is a lot to be said. Until then, stay tuned and thank you so much for your questions and don't forget to subscribe.